Hey everyone, and welcome to my follow-up video for the Flow Neuroscience. And this is my thoughts on after doing it for a week. Now, I wasn't expecting any changes to happen after a week, simply because the what they say is most people don't usually notice a difference until after 3 weeks, and most people don't notice a significant difference until 10 weeks. But I'll give you my thoughts anyway on a week. So, after using it for a week, uh, still found a slight discomfort. Like I said, just a slight discomfort there, as if it was just, I don't know, just like kind of a slight tingling, piercing, but very like a pinprick piercing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. Uh, I wouldn't say uncomfortable. It's just there. Uh, what I have noticed is I think maybe out of the 5 days I tried it for my first week, uh, maybe two of them I didn't really feel it. So I don't know if maybe that's because I never had it sitting properly. That I'm not too sure. So what had happened? So day one and two tried it. It was fine. Now leading up to this point, my sleep pattern was terrible. I was getting 2-3 hours sleep a night. It had been like that for about 3 weeks. Uh, on the third day of trying it, I went to go to my bed to lie down, and I fell asleep for 6.5 hours. The following day, I got another 6.5 hours sleep. Is that to do with the headset? It could be, or it could just be the natural progression of me getting 2 hours sleep, 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm finally getting to the point where my body can't do it anymore, and it just takes a sleep on. That happens. So I'm not saying it's because of the headset. It could be. I have no idea. Same again. I resell, and I live in a one-bedroom flat, so I had stock everywhere, and it had been doing my head in for 2 or 3 weeks. It was just sitting there in the living room, and after the third session, I woke up and I just had uh, I don't know, a bit of I just had to get something done about it, and I cleared 80% of it from my living room. Now, again, is that because of the headset after just a few days, or is that because the natural progression of it's been like that for 2 or 3 weeks, and I've finally got to the point where I've been sick of it, or until I've decided I need to get this fucking looked at and done. So I'm not sitting here just putting it all on the headset. I don't know. But what I'm looking forward to is after between the 3 weeks and the 10 week period. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now, I am, just to answer a few questions, so like off the bat first, I am scared. Don't usually get scared of much of anything, but a bit scared and a bit of afraid of this working. And I think that's because I've had depression on and off quite badly for 20 years, almost 20 years. And I don't know what the world's like with me not being depressed, with me not being suicidal at times, with me not having any self worth or being kind of focused. So that's scary. Uh, I don't know what I'm like as a person without it, because it's all I've known for almost 20 years. So that's kind of scary. That is. I mean, for the last 20 years, I don't get any enjoyment, I've been to places around the world, I've been to America, I've been to Asia, and as much as they were fantastic, there wasn't a point where I was giddy and, oh, I can't wait to go, and it was just, it's a holiday, let's go. And I was actually a professional photographer, I was a product photographer, and the point I started doing product photography, I got my first full frame camera. Now, you talk to any photographer, any gearhead, whether it's cars, whatever, photography. If you get new gear, you've ripped that box open and you're out playing with it and learning about it straight away. I got my first full frame camera, took it out of the box, went, cool, put it back in the box, and I never took a photograph with that camera for about 4.5 months. That isn't normal. I do not get any enjoyment out of stuff, and that's the problem with it. So it'll be interesting to see if this brings some of that back, that I actually have enjoyment out of things. So that scares me. So this is after the first week. So to answer a few questions, I never consulted my doctor. I just knew I had to try something different. I tried several different medications. I tried several different medications over the years, and none of them worked. And that's the problem with medications, is there's no silver bullet out there that will fix. Now, don't get me wrong, some people can go into a medication and it'll help them really well. For me, none of them seemed to work. I never felt any different. I just felt the same. So I wanted to try something different, something that was non-invasive, and that's when I started reading up about flow neuroscience, and the stats seemed quite good. Now, the handsets from Flow, I think they are £399, and if you rent them, they are £79. The good thing about renting from them is you get free pad refills, so you don't need to pay money for the pads, which is good. So if you think you're going to need it more than 3 months, that's that's 240 quid that you need to rent it out for and then send it back. Now, I bought mine the second-hand market. You can pick them up for, I'd probably say between 220 and 300. You can get them at 220 each. You need to be looking for them and buy it straight away. I was just so lucky at the time. I'd actually missed out on one. I think it was £250, and I was bummed out about it on eBay. And I went on to Vinted, and there was a person, a seller, selling one for £150, and I couldn't. And it had 35, 40 pads, and I bought a box of pads from Flow. These are the pads that I got that I've already used a week's worth, and this is the box of pads that I got from Flow. 20 pads in it. So that was £150. So I saved myself £150. It was such a good deal. And that's the only reason why I bought it. I hear what people are saying is that it's expensive, and it was £400 for me. I couldn't have afforded that if it was £400. And I was looking for ones, if I could get it for about £200, I push I could afford it, but 150 was a no-brainer. I just had to go and do it. So that's week one done. Do I feel any different from it? No, again, like I said, those two things, the sleep pattern and kind of maybe being a wee bit more focused, was that to do with it? It could have been, but I'm not definitely turning around saying yes, it's helped in that way. I'll like to know more and see the results in 3 weeks' time. So my next video, this is week one. I won't do another video now until week three, and I'll let you know how I feel after 3 weeks of doing this. and we can go from there. So I'll probably do a week 3, then maybe a week 5, then maybe a week 7, and then a week 10. So there'll be several videos up until that point. If you have any comments regarding this down below, let me know. What's your thoughts on this? Have you? I know that one of a couple of comments they've actually went off and bought theirs, so I'd really like to hear your feedback in the comments, what you think about it. And as always, I shall talk to you later. Stay safe, take care. Thanks very much.